Welcome to Dress for Victory, where style isn't just about looking sharp, it's about owning your legacy. I'm Damian, and today we're asking the question every modern man should be asking themselves. Why are we still wearing ties? I mean, seriously, who decided that this was the standard? Why did London's elite still insist on it? And more interestingly, why are scarves making a comeback? But before we get into today's trends, let's rewind back to a battlefield in the 17th century Europe. Because, believe it or not, this whole thing started with a bunch of Croatian soldiers who had zero idea they were setting a fashion trend that would last until today. Picture this, it's the 30-year war and King Louis XIV, the original trendsetter, hires Croatian mercenaries to fight for France. These guys have a distinctive look and often cloth around their necks, not just for style, but to keep their collars closed and to make them easily recognisable on the battlefield. Now, Louis XIV, he wasn't just any king, he was literally the king of fashion. He took one look at those Croatian soldiers and thought, those scarves look good, and I need one. So what did he do? He brought it to high fashion by bringing it into court. Now here's a fun fact. The word cravat, well, that didn't even exist until Louis XIV. He made it up. He coined the phrase right there and then, and named the cravat after the Croatians he first saw wearing it. From that moment on, neckwear wasn't just about being practical. It became a statement of power, class, elegance, and to be real, when the French decide that something is stylish, you gotta admit, the world tends to follow. Now, let's fast forward to 19th century London, and now we meet the guy who took neckwear to a whole new level, George Brian Brummell, affectionately known to Londoners as Beau Brummell. You see, before Beau Brummell, men's fashion was extra. We're talking powdered wigs, lace cuffs, heavy embroidery, the works. Brummell took one look at this and said, no, we need to clean this up. Clean lines, white shirts, cravats. He introduced the well-tailored suit, the crisp white shirt, and most importantly, the perfectly tied cravat. But here's the crazy part. He was obsessed. He would spend hours and hours just in and out, just tying and retying this cravat until it was absolutely perfect. Perfect and flawless. And because of him, the neatly tied cravat became the mark of a true gentleman. Over time, that cravat slimmed down, tightened up, and became what we now recognise as the modern tie. So if you've ever worn a tie, then congratulations, because you are following Brummell's dress code for victory. Now moving forward, the cravat started to slim down, but tying them was still a bit of a faff. Enter the four-in-hand knot. Why the name, I hear you ask? Well, a group of London gentlemen who were in the four-in-hand club, well, they started to tie their scarves in such a way that it resembled the reins of four horses, coaches. The word I was struggling to find was four-horse carriage. And so basically what this was a carriage with four horses, and all of the reins went to one point. And they were all tied together, which resembled the four-in-hand knot, which is what people wear as a tie today. And by the 20th century, as ties became what we know today, this knot became the go-to. It was simple, it was sharp, and most importantly, it's still around to today. Now here's where things get interesting. Walk into places like White's, the Garrett Club, or the Ritz without a tie, and you're not getting in. Some of London's most exclusive venues still treat the tie as a badge of honour. Some even keep a stash of loaner ties at the entrance, just in case you've forgotten yours. Why? Well, to them, wearing a tie, it isn't just about looking polished, it's about respect for the space that you're in. You're showing respect, you're showing that you made an effort, and in London, that still carries weight. But here's where things change. While ties still dominate the formal scene, we're seeing a comeback of something even older, the cravat. Loosely knotted, casually draped, or tucked into your blazer. It's got the same elegance, but more personality and freedom. It's the cravat for today's modern man. And guess what fashion design house is helping to lead this charge? Hermès. You see, originally, the Twilly scarf was designed for women, but men are catching on because they want something a little bit more refined than an open collar, but not as stuffy as the modern day tie. You see, like a cravat, it can be worn under a blazer, wrapped around your wrist for an accent of colour, or just tucked into your pocket like a pocket square. As you can see, it's the perfect mix of classic and rebellious. And honestly, I think Beau Brummell would approve. So, where does that leave us? London still holds on to the tie, especially in the city. Private clubs and formal restaurants. But step outside those circles, we're seeing more scarves, more cravats, and more silk accents making a comeback. It's definitely a nod to the past, but with a modern twist. You see, Brummell once said, the style should be simple and perfect. And today, whether it's a silk tie, a stylish scarf, or a perfectly draped cravat, couldn't hold more true. So let's settle this once and for all. Would you swap your tie for a modern day scarf? Or are you keeping it classic? Drop your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. And remember, whatever you wear, always wear in confidence. And remember, always and always, dress for victory.